Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is General-Segolodi. I am the author of the book titled Pro-Mortalism. It is a study of existential antinatalism and existential pro-mortalism. In this short video, I would like to point out a few contradictions, or maybe you can call them paradoxes, within contemporary antinatalism. Not my antinatalism, existential antinatalism, but the ethics focused antinatalism. You know, the guys who are obsessed with pain and suffering and compassion and empathy, XYZ. Here are three big issues with contemporary antinatalism. Number one, the effects of a plummeting birth rate. Maybe some of you know about this, but every single country in the world besides the developing countries has a very low birth rate. The birth rate is below replacement. That is, more people are dying than the number of children being born, and this has very serious effect on the economy. Basically, the workforce reduces because most people are old. The younger people who make up the workforce, their numbers shrink, and so basically there will be more suffering. And so in this way, there's a kind of irony here. There's a paradox, which is that antinatalism, whose goal is to reduce suffering, can actually increase suffering as well. It can increase pain, right? It's like, regardless of whether a society is antinatalist or not, it's like they will be suffering regardless. If the birth rates are high, more people, more new people being exposed to harm in the world. And even if the society becomes antinatalist, the birth rate will plummet, and that will still bring with it pain and suffering. And when it comes to how to solve birth rate issues, the only solution is to have more babies. You can maybe think of something like, we're developing artificial intelligence. Maybe we'll have robots doing our automating jobs, but that solution is not available to everyone. It's not available to like third world countries, something like that. So the technology has not even been perfected yet. We haven't reached that level of technological advancement, and it would probably still be expensive even in the first world countries. It's not a viable solution. And so I wonder, how would someone who subscribes to contemporary antinatalism deal with the issue of the pain and suffering that would be brought about by low birth rates? Now that's what I would call being between a rock and a hard place. And some people also get joy from raising families. There's statistics that show that most women who are childless, by the time they're older age, tend to actually regret it, that they wanted children, but perhaps they couldn't because they were too busy with their job, right? So, what about these guys? These people actually have pain due to the fact that they don't have children. The second contradiction is very, I don't know, it's a claim. Now, this is not really made by all antinatalists, but there is a growing number of, contemporary antinatalists who claim that veganism has nothing to do with antinatalism. Now, I find this to be quite strange because I thought antinatalists were empathetic. I thought that the whole point of antinatalism was like compassion and, being concerned about suffering of sentience. So it seems to be, it's a contradiction to suggest that eating meat is fine, eating and killing and eating animals is perfectly fine. I mean, unless you're a pro-mortalist, then it would sort of make sense that, okay, fine, these animals that are getting slaughtered are being put out of their misery. If you're a pro-mortalist, then it would make sense. But a lot of these guys don't seem to be pro-mortalist, so it's quite, it doesn't really make sense. That on one hand, they don't like suffering, they want to reduce suffering, but they're also fine with suffering being inflicted through factory farming, killing animals. It's very, very strange. It's hypocritical. Last big problem is a very recent debate within the antinatalist community about whether animals are even included within antinatalism. Once again, this is very, very strange that this is even up for debate. I liked Wacky Conundrum's view on this issue, where he pointed out that, there's many different types of antinatalism, and so really it just depends which specific version of antinatalism you are referring to. Maybe some include animals and some don't. Though admittedly, does it make sense for it to include animals or to exclude them? I think they're obviously included. I don't even think it makes sense for them to be excluded. But anyways, existential antinatalism does cover all animals, all life. In fact, with existential antinatalism, there is in my book, I don't really make a distinction. I actually point out that it doesn't make any sense to make a distinction between humans and animals. This kind of distinction does not make any sense. I just talk about life, living things, and I'm referring to, all conscious things. So I'm very curious to know what you guys have to say about these questions, and you can go ahead and leave them down in the comment section. So that was the video. Thanks for watching.